Good morning. Okay, welcome students. So today in this session we are going to see Unit 2 syllabus introduction and 8086 signals and basic configuration of 8086. Okay, let us see.
U.com.
See. So this is a Unit 2 syllabus. So the Unit 2 is somewhat larger syllabus when compared to Unit 1. In Unit 1 we were studied the architecture, addressing mode, instruction set, and the programming of 8086. And finally, we studied some modular programming and interrupt service routine. Okay, so these are the topics we were studied in Unit 1. In Unit 2, we are going to see the system bus structure. So in this unit, we are going to study a lot of system bus and how to how to communicate with the CPU bus and uh, programming, IO programming, and the multi-programming, then system bus structure, then multiprocessor configurations. The multiprocessor configurations is the second part of this second unit. So most of the questions from second unit that is coming from the multiprocessor configurations. There's a coprocessor, closely coupled and loosely coupled, then introduction to advanced processor. Okay, so if you divide this unit into two parts, first part is system bus structure, second part is multiprocessor configuration. Okay, in system bus structure we are going to study the signals of 8086 and the basic configuration means how the 8086 configure in different way, that is a minimum mode configuration and a maximum mode configuration. This is a basic configuration of 8086 microprocessor and system bus timing and system design using 8086. What is system design? By using 8086 we can develop one hardware for some particular purpose. Okay, that is a system design. We can design a system by using 8086. Okay, that is also important question. And basic configuration divided into minimum mode, maximum mode, that is also important question. So this unit has around four important questions: minimum mode configuration, maximum mode configuration, then coprocessor, then simply we can say that multiprocessor configuration. Okay, so these are the important questions in unit 2. Okay, so today we are going to see the 8086 signals and the basic configuration of 8086. Okay, so these two topics we are going to study today. So 8086 signals and the basic configuration of 8086. Okay, right. So 806 signals are the pin diagram, that is a hardware configuration of our processor. Okay, right. So this is a 8086 hardware configuration. Okay, it's a 8086 hardware configuration. So in this we are going to study different pins used in 8086. Actually totally we are having a 40 pins. Okay, what are the function of each pins, how it's accessed, how it's operate. Okay, these are the things we are going to study today. Okay, right. See the diagram in your screen, that is 8086 IC configuration, the physical structure of 8086 integrated circuit. Okay, so this is a IC. Actually 8086 is a simple IC. Okay, so it having a 40 pins. So dual in line package. What is dual in line? Dual in line means two line package. Okay, so the pins are arranged in parallel with respect to each lines. Okay, so each other. So here we are having in a single side we are having 20 pins. Okay, uh, so totally we are having two lines, so total lines are 40 lines we are having. Okay, right. So this is a pin diagram of 8086 microprocessor. So pin diagram means what is pin? Why we are saying it is pin diagram? Actually 8086 microprocessor in the form of integrated circuit. Okay, so I don't know how many of you have a clear idea about IC. Consider if you are having one IC means, so it is looking like black color. Okay, and in length of the mostly in the IC is in a rectangle shape. In a length side you are having pins in both sides. Okay, so that is a dual in line package. So the black color material is a plastic material. Okay, so it can break, right? Then the pins are copper. Pin is present in both the sides of the integrated circuit. Okay, so totally we are having a 40 pin in 886. So it is looking like a pin. Okay, so very sharp needle is it is easily inserted into circuit board, so that it is a pin. So this diagram is also called as pin diagram because it indicates the operation of each pin present in 8186 microprocessor. Okay, clear? So it is a pin diagram of 8186. Right, first pin. You are going to see the pin details, and you see one by one. First one, the ground, GND. What is GND? GND means ground. What is ground? Generally, what is ground? If you are asking in school student, the particular student will tell ground is earth. Okay, what is earth? In electrical, earth is ground. Okay, right. But in our home wiring, the technician will call it is earth. Okay, what is earth? What is ground? Almost everything is same. So that is a neutral line. Okay, so consider if you are having a electrical wire, we have two wires in a single place. We have two wires. One wire have one wire carry phase, and another one wire that is carry the ground or earth. Okay, so that is a return path. Okay, phase is a one way, and this ground is another way. Okay, and electrical ground, another one ground is there, that is used to avoid the shock. Okay, so that is also the another one ground, but it is a neutral zero voltage. In electronics oriented we can call it as zero voltage pin. Okay, here the ground is 0 volt. Okay, it is ground pin is present in all the electronic instruments. Okay, ground is present in all the electronic instrument. Okay, this is the first pin. The next one is clock, CLK. What is clock? Okay, what is clock? Clock is a pulses. So what is the pulse range of human? In a human we have a pulse range of 72 beats per minute. Okay, that is our pulse range or our clock of human, right? If the clock is 0 means the human will death, right? In death condition. Okay, similarly in microprocessor, the clock is 0 means the microprocessor cannot access anything, microprocessor cannot do anything. So it is a clock signal. Okay, so microprocessor is running, that is based on the clock signal. The clock is provided by the oscillator. Okay, the clock is provided by oscillator, that is a crystal oscillator. Okay, so the duty cycle is 33 percentage. Okay, that 33 percentage of crystal oscillator is used here as clock signal. Okay, so this is a second important pin. So the clock is just like a heart of human. Okay, so the clock is just like a heart of human. Actually our heart is produce the clock. Okay, so pulse. So the doctor says that is pulse. In electronics only you are saying that is a clock. Okay, both are same, right? So here the clock is in the range of megahertz range. Okay, clock is in megahertz range. And the next one is VCC. Generally, what is VCC? Voltage source. Okay, voltage source or power supply. Okay, power supply, right? That is a VCC. So the power supply and the ground both are combined together. Okay, so VCC is a 5 volt. Okay, the potential difference is 5 volt. Okay, so that is given from battery. So this the VCC is used to switch on the microprocessor. It gives us some energy to microprocessor, the entire chip. Okay, so that is a very important. So that is VCC. So in our computer the VCC is what? SMBS. Okay, SMBS act as a power supply. Okay, right. Next one is reset. What is reset? What will happen if you press reset button in your computer? Everything in default condition. Okay, if you are doing some work in your computer, suddenly your friend press reset button, what will happen? So all the work you've done in the computer is lost. Okay, right? So you lost all the data, all the current data. Okay, the data which is not saved, data are lost. Then the computer enter into default stage. Okay, right? That is a reset. All the registers, memories, everything is reset to 000. Okay, okay, right? So that is a reset. Here the reset is given by 4 clocks. Okay, high of 4 clock. So 4 clock pulse is used to reset the microcontroller. Okay, so this is a basic pin we are using in microcontroller. The reset is also always interrupt. Okay, that is one of the hardware interrupt. Okay, right. And the next pin is address lines. Okay, what is AD? AD means address or data bus. What is bus? Generally, what is bus? The bus carries the passengers. Okay, the bus carry the passengers. In electronics, the bus represent that is a group of lines that carry the signals or data. Okay, right? So the bus carry the signals or data. It is a group of lines, individual lines. Okay, so each line carry separate bits. Each line is allocated for single bit. Okay, so address or data bus, we are saying it is address or data, whether it is carry the address or data, it carry both. Okay, both address and data both are carried by this AD lines. This line is 16 line. Okay, so 0 AD0 to AD15, so total lines are 16 lines. So we are having a 16-bit data bus, 16-bit data bus, and 16-bit address bus, but the address bus is 20-bit. Okay, we will see remaining 4 bits. Okay, right? So this address or data is controlled by another one signal, that is ALE. Whether the microprocessor carry address or data, it is indicated by ALE signal, address latch enable signal. Okay, we will see next. Okay, when ALE is 1, the data bit D0 to D15 is enabled. Okay, right? Contain address bits. If when ALE is 1, it is act as a address bits or address bus. When ALE is 0, it is act as a data bus. Understand? The ALE is address latch enabled. It is enable or disable address bus and data bus. If ALE equal to 1, the entire 16 pins are act as an address bus. If it is 0, it is act as a data bus. Okay, so that we can call it is address or data bus. The next one is ALE. So the ALE is address latch enabled. Okay, when ALE equal to 1 or high, the multiplexed address and data bus contain address information. What is multiplexed? Multiplex means two or more different things are combined together. Multiplexer you are studied. Okay, n is to 1 multiplexer, n input 1 output. Okay, right? Here two different parameters are considered. One is address and another one is data. So both are combined together in a single pin. Okay, right? So if it is address, then ALE is 1. Okay, if it is data, ALE is 0. Okay, that is the address latch enabled. By using this ALE single pin, we can consider these lines are address or data. Okay, right. Next one is NMI, non-maskable interrupt. So these NMI pins we were studied in last class. Okay, that is a non-maskable interrupt. So that is a hardware interrupt. By using this pin, we can give interrupt to the microprocessor. Okay, that is a non-maskable, uncontrollable interrupt. We were studied in last class in unit 1. Okay, next one is INTR. That is a interrupt request. Interrupt request. So this is a pin that is used by the external hardware to request the interrupt to microprocessor. Okay, it requires the microprocessor to generate interrupt. Okay, that is a interrupt request pin. This pin also we were studied yesterday. Okay, in last class. And next one is the INTA, interrupt acknowledge. So interrupt request and interrupt acknowledge both are working each other. What is interrupt request? The external device requests the microprocessor to service interrupt. Okay, that means the microprocessor, the external device asks the microprocessor to execute the interrupt program. Okay, if the microprocessor is ready to execute the request interrupt, then it will generate INTA, interrupt acknowledge. Okay, okay, I am going to execute your interrupt. Okay, that reply of interrupt request, that is interrupt acknowledge. Okay, so external device requests the microprocessor for interrupt, then for the particular interrupt it acknowledges the microprocessor by using INTA, right? Then hold. What is hold? So hold is the pin that is a minimum mode signal. Actually here we are seeing a top, we have a two mode. That's a basic configuration of microprocessor, maximum mode and minimum mode. So maximum mode means these pins are in such a maximum mode. Actually from pin number 24 to 31 the pins are multi-purpose pin. If it is in maximum mode, it is performed different. If it is in minimum mode, it is performed different. Okay, right? We will study the maximum mode and minimum mode in next classes. Okay, but today here this is a minimum mode signals. Okay, right? These are minimum mode signal. These are minimum mode signals. The first signal is hold. Hold is to lock the system bus. Okay, actually external device connected with the microprocessor 886 microprocessor. Sometimes the external device is requires the microprocessor to use the system bus. If it is microprocessor is not willing to give a system bus, means it will generate the hold signal. Okay, the signal system bus cannot be used by the external hardware. Okay, that is hold signal. Then next one is a HLDA, that is a hold acknowledge. So if the microprocessor is provide the system bus to external device, then it is generate the hold acknowledge. So hold is a request, hold acknowledge is a reply. Okay, so these two are combined signal used in microprocessor related to system bus. Okay, next one is address or status bus. Address or status bus. In previous we have studied address or data bus. Here address or status bus. Okay, so the address bits is 20-bit address. 8086 microprocessor has 20-bit address and 16-bit data bus. So 20-bit address bus and the 16-bit data bus, right? So already we have studied the 16-bit address bus. Remaining 4-bit is here from A16 to A19. Okay, so the address and status bus is used to address, and sometimes it uses the status. So the address bit A19 to A16, okay, that is considered as a address. Okay, and it indicates the status of the microprocessor, that is S3 to S6. Okay, what is status? So what the microprocessor doing, okay, how it operate, that is status, the status of microprocessor. Okay, right. The next one is the S4 and S3. What are the status? S4, S3 indicate which segment is accessed during current bus cycle. The status S3 and S4 indicate which segment accessed. Actually, we are having the 4 segment: data segment, code segment, address, extra segment. Okay, right? So stack segment. So totally we are having a 4 segment. So in that 4 segment, which segment is accessed during current bus cycle, that is indicated by S3 and S4 status. S5 indicates condition of interrupt flag bits. Condition of interrupt flag. Okay, S5 indicates the condition of interrupt flag bits, and S6 is the logic 0. S6 is indicates the logic 0. Okay, so this is the status of microprocessor. So on these 4 pins is higher status pins. Okay, and the remaining lower status are S0, S1, S2. We will study later. Okay, the function of S4 and S3. If S4 and S3 is 0 means that is considered as extra segment. 01 means that is a stack segment. 10 means code or no segment. 11 means data segment. Okay, so the S4 to S3 indicates the segment is accessed during current bus cycle. Okay, right? So that is the status of microprocessor. And next one is bus high enable. Bus high enable or status 7. Enable most significant data bytes D8 to D15 during read write operation. Okay, S7 is always 1. So enables most significant data bits. Okay, the bus high enable the most significant data bits during D8 to D15. Okay, most significant. What is most significant data? So we are having a 16-bit data. In that 50% of 16-bit is 0 to 8 and 8 to 15. Okay, so in that higher half 8 to 15 is there. So that bit is considered during read and write operations, or it is enabled during write and read operation. Okay, that is a bus high enable. Why we are saying it's a bus high means we are enabling higher order or most significant bits, that is a D8 to D15. Okay, and S7 is always 1, that is a status. See, bus high enable versus A0. A0 is the first pin of address. Okay, if it is 00 means we are consider whole word 16-bit we are considered. 01 means high byte to from odd address. Okay, if it is 01 means we are considering a higher byte of odd address. 10 means lower byte of even address. Okay, we are considering lower byte of even address. If it is 11 means no selection. So this is a bus high enable and A0. A0 is the first bit of address, that means 16th bit of address. Okay, so this is the important pin, bus high enable. Next one is MN bar, MX bar. Okay, minimum mode or maximum mode. What is minimum mode or maximum mode? If this pin number 33 is connected with 5 volt, then that is called as minimum mode. If the pin number 33 is connected with a 0 volt, then that is considered as a maximum mode. Understand? Pin number 33 is connected with 5 volt, it is considered as a minimum mode. Minimum mode means minimum features of the microprocessor accessed. Okay, minimum features. In your mobile phone, we can see in a power option, that is full features, then minimum features, like that. Okay, these are used to save the battery. Okay, right? So the features is very important. So same way in the minimum mode and the maximum mode. In minimum mode we can access a very minimum features. Okay, right? In maximum mode we can access all the features. If the pin number 33 is connected with the minimum mode, 33 connected with the 5 volt, that is considered as a minimum mode. If it is connected with 0 volt, that is considered as maximum mode. Okay, right. The next one is minimum mode signal. These are the minimum mode pins. Okay, these are minimum mode pins. So these pins are some control signals. Okay, first one is hold, already we were studied. Then hold, acknowledge, that is also we were studied. The next one is a WR bar. What is WR bar? WR bar means read signal. So if you want to read the data from memory or IO, we will enable WR for WR. Why we are considered bar, WR bar? So that bar indicate that is active low signal. So active low னா என்ன, அதில் வந்து நீங்கள் 0 கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா enable ஆகும், 1 கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா disable ஆகும். நார்மல் சிக்னல்னால் என்ன, 1 கொடுத்தா enable ஆகும், 0 கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா disable ஆகும். அதுக்கு ஆப்போசிட் தான் அது இன்வெர்ஸ். ஸோ நாட் ஆப்ரேஷன் அதில் இருக்கும். ஸோ அதனால தான் அது பார் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஓகே, WR பார். தென் நெக்ஸ்ட் பின் இஸ் மெமரி ஆர் IO bar. If it is 1, M bar IO bar. See this pin. So M bar IO bar. If it is 1 means it access memory. If it is 0 means it access IO. Okay, right? Similarly, DT bar R bar. DT means transmitter, R means receiver. If it is 1 means the signal considered transmitter. If it is 0 means it considers this act as a receiver. Okay, right? The next one is the DN, data enabled. Data enabled is enabled during read and write operations. Okay, then ALE is already we have studied, that is address latch enabled, that is used to consider whether it is address bus or data bus. Then last one is a interrupt acknowledge. Okay, INTA. So interrupt acknowledge is used to acknowledge the interrupt request, okay, to the external hardware. Okay, so these are the minimum mode pins. The next one is a maximum mode pins or maximum mode signals. Request and grant. RQ bar. RQ means request. GT means grant. Okay. RQ means request. GT means grant. Similarly, RQ GT1 pin number 31 and 30 is used for request and grant signal, that is a maximum mode signal. The next one is a lock signal. Lock. So the lock signal is used to lock the bus, external bus. Okay, the system bus. So the external hardware sometimes use the system bus, that is as like the hold signal. Okay, and remaining pin number 26, 27, 28 is used for status, lower status, S0, S1, S2. Okay, and 24, 25 is used for queue status. Queue, what is queue? In architecture we studied the queue in bus interface unit. Okay, the queues are used to store the 6 bytes of data before execute. Okay, so the queue status, whether the queue is full, whether the queue is empty, or it has a data or like that. Okay, that is considered in 24 and 25. Okay, right? So these are maximum mode pins. Okay, and the next one is RD. What is RD? Read signal. RD means read signal. So what is read? What is read? Read means microprocessor get the data. Okay, when the microprocessor perform read signal, it receive the data or it is get the data Okay, that is a read signal. This signal is also active low signal, right? It is active low signal. So if the 32 is connected with ground, then it perform read operation. If 32 is connected with a 5 volt or logic 1, it is disable the read operation. Next one is write operation. Pin number 21 is connected with 0 means it perform the write operation, that is also active low signal. If it is connected with a 5 volt means that is active high signal. Okay, right? So active high signal, 5 volt means active high signal, so it is disabled. The write signal is disabled. WR is considered as a write signal. So we can store the data in IO or memory. So read means we can get the data, write means we have store the data. So that is output. Read means input, WR write means output. Okay. The next one is memory or IO. So in the previous two signals are considered, that is a read signal and write signal. So the read and write operations can be done only in two places. One is memory and other one is IO. Where we are going to read or write, whether in memory or IO. So this 28th pin, that is used to indicate the microprocessor. So where you are going to read or write, perform read and write operation. Okay, so that is memory or IO. If it is 1 means that is considered as a memory. If it is 0 means that is considered as a IO. Okay, right? So this is the memory or IO, that is a 28th pin. The next one is a data transmit or data receive. Okay, so the 4 pins are combined together. Each 32, pin number 32, 29, 28, 27. These 4 pins are combined together because if you want to perform any copy or read and write operations, so we must enable and disable these pins. Okay, if you want to perform the read operation means the 32 is enabled up, 32 equal to 0, then the 29 equal to 1, because we are going to do read operation, not write operation. Okay, then where we are going to read or where we are going to read, okay, whether from memory or from IO. Okay, that is an important thing. So pin number 28 is considered. So the read and write operation is done in memory or IO. Okay, next 27. If it is perform a read operation, so the microprocessor consider act as a receiver. If it is perform write operation, it is considered as a transmitter. Okay, so DT, data receive or data transmit, data receive or data transmit. Okay, next one is data bus enable, DEN. So after performing read and write, so the data should be carried from one place to another place, so that we must enable data bus to carry the data. Okay, to enable the data we are using DEN pin number 26. The pin number 26 is logic 0 means data bus are enabled. Okay, right? The next one is status signal. So these are status signal. So input to 8288 to generate eliminated signals due to maximum mode. Actually, when we are studying the maximum mode, we will have a clear idea about this S0, S1, S2. Actually, this is a status signal. These 3 lines are connected with 8288. 8288 is a supporting IC that is used with 8086. Okay, there is a supporting IC. So by using this S0, S1, S2, we can generate different control signals. Okay, right? So that is used in maximum mode. When we study the maximum mode, we will clear about this signal. Okay, right. Next one is the operation of S2, S0, S1, S2. If it is 0 means that is act as a interrupt acknowledge. So it generates the different signal in maximum mode. So if it is 0 means consider as a interrupt acknowledge. If it is 1 means read IO port. 010 means write IO port. 011 means halt. 177 means code access. 101 means read memory, 110 means write memory, 111 means passive, that is no action. Okay, right? So this is a maximum mode. Actually this is a maximum mode pin. So that pin is used in status, indicate the status of microprocessor. And the next one is request and grant. Request and grant. So DMA, request and grant, direct memory access. So DMA is a indirected circuit that is connected with a microprocessor to access memory, direct memory access. So the microprocessor can address up to 1 megabytes. Okay, the address bus is 20 bytes. So the microprocessor 8086 can access only 1 megabytes. So it is not suitable in practical life, so that we must increase the memory access, that is by DMA. DMA can increase the external memory access, so that DMA is used these signals, the request and grant coming from microprocessor. Okay, right. Next one is a lock. So lock is an output that given to external hardware to lock the system bus. Okay, so it is related to system bus. Okay, so lock output used to lock the peripheral of the system, activate by using lock prefix on any instruction. So if the lock the system bus means, so external peripheral cannot do anything. Okay, we are lock the peripherals. Okay, so to lock peripheral of the system, to switch off the system. The next one is a queue status. So it is used by coprocessor. Actually the second part of the unit 2 is a multiprocessor. In that one of the topic is coprocessor, that is 8087. So the coprocessor use this signal, there is queue status, QS1, QS0. The QS1 and QS0, that is used to indicate the queue status present in 886 bus interface unit. Okay, the bus interface unit has the queue status. Okay, so that is indicate the queue status, whether the queue is full, whether the queue is empty, like that. Okay, right? So 00 means queue is idle, 01 means first byte of code is loaded into queue, 10 means queue is empty, 11 means subsequent byte of code is present in queue. Okay, so these are the pins used in microprocessor. Okay, so totally we are having 40 pins, but the pins are more than 40 because some pins is allocated for multiple signals, multiple operations. Okay, that is a dual operations. Okay, right? So we cannot increase the pin, so in order to reduce the size and reduce the pin, we are using multiple purpose pin. Okay, some pins used as a multi-purpose pin, so that the more signals are used in this microprocessor. Okay, so next we are going to see, say, okay, again the final, we will see one by one the review. Okay, right? So here the VCC and ground is considered. So maximum mode, the M1 bar X equal to 0. In minimum mode, the M1 bar Mx equal to 1. Okay, right? Then operation mode, if it is M1 for Mx equal to 1, that is a minimum mode. So 8088 generates all the needed control, okay, control signals for small system. If it is maximum mode means, so it is, we can use the bus controller X to expand the system. Okay, right? Then the clock signal is 2.5 megahertz, 33% of duty cycle. Okay, then multiplex address and data bidirectional. Okay, address and data bidirectional. multibus data and status bus. Okay, that is remaining thing. So status signal, that is a output. Control bus in or out. Okay, ready, reset. Okay, these are the control signals. Then interrupt signals, acknowledge, interrupt acknowledge signal. Okay, so these are the signals used in 8086 microprocessor. Okay, right. So actually this is a very important topic actually. Here the most of the signals were studied in this session. Okay, right. Next we are going to differentiate what is minimum mode signal and what is maximum mode signal. Okay, right. First we are going to see the minimum mode signals. So in minimum mode signals we are consider first one address and data lines. Okay, we are consider address and data bus, then A19 address and status bus. Okay, already we studied now. Next one is the signals, handshaking signal, that is for data read and write. RD signal is used in minimum mode. RD means read operation. Ready means the microprocessor is ready to transfer data or ready to receive data. So that is considered by ready signal. Whether we are going to read or write in memory or IO. Okay, memory bar IO is considered. Then write signal, that is to enable the write operation. We are using write signal, write bar. Then ALE that is used to whether the bus is act as address bus or data bus. Okay, right. Then next one is the DT bar R bar. The DT means data transfer or data receiver, whether the microprocessor transfer the data or it is receive the data. Okay, right. Then DEN, data enabled. Okay, data bus enabled. After the after the read and write operations, the data bus is enabled to carry the data. Next one is a bus high enabled or S7, that is used to enable the higher 8 bits in microprocessor data bus, that is a bus high enabled. These are the handshaking signals used between microprocessor and other devices. Next one is the interrupt signal. INTR is a interrupt request, non-maskable interrupt. Then reset is also one of the hardware interrupt, that is a non-maskable interrupt. And then INTA interrupt acknowledge. The 4 pins is considered as interrupt signals. And next one is a bus access control, hold and hold acknowledge. So hold and hold acknowledge, that is used to control the bus access by external hardware. Okay, right. Next one is the test. Test pin is tested by the wait instruction. So that is in multiprocessor configuration we are using the test pin. Then MN bar MX minimum or maximum mode. So whether it is a 5 volt means minimum mode. So MN bar MX pin is connected with the logic 1, then that is considered as a minimum mode. Then clock pin, that is used to provide the timing to the microprocessor or clock pulses to the microprocessor. Then VCC and ground, VCC is a 5 volt, the ground is a 0 volt. So these are the signals used in minimum mode. The next one is a similar way, maximum mode. Maximum mode, some of the signal is common. So the address and data bus is used in minimum mode and maximum mode, and address and status bus is also. Then read signal, that is a handshaking signal to perform the read operation, and ready signal, that is used to indicate the peripheral device to, that is the microprocessor is ready to transmit data or ready to receive data. Then bus high enabled, to enable the higher order bits of buses. Okay, right. Then status S0, S1, S2. Okay, that is a status or handshake signal that indicate the function of the current bus cycle. Okay, next interrupt signals, INTR, NMI, reset. These are the interrupt and used in maximum mode, but here interrupt acknowledge is not used. Okay, then bus access control is done by request grant signal, request and grant signal. So request grant 1, request grant 2, and a lock. In previous one, bus access is controlled by hold and hold acknowledge. That is a difference between minimum mode and maximum mode. Then other signals are queue status, test, then minimum maximum mode, that is a common pin. Then clock signal, VCC, ground, these are the common pins that is used in both the minimum mode and maximum mode. Okay, right. So these are the today's section. Actually, today time is over. The session is almost in the end of the stage. Okay, right? So I am going to complete this session. So by this session, I hope that you can understand this 886 signals, okay, and the operations of 8086 microprocessor. Okay, this is a hardware signal that is used in 8086. Okay, right? So this is a introduction of unit, the first topic of unit 2. Okay, students, study well. Okay, uh, first have a book. Okay, if you are not getting any book hard copy, please receive some soft copy notes, handle some soft copy notes, or purchase some book. Then only you can study well. Okay, right? Thank you, students. Thanks for watching. Thank you for time. Thank you so much. Bye.